So, hello again, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hola, hola,
Hola,
Jai.
hola.
Hi.
Hola, hola.
Hola.
It is so good to see my family here also. Who would have thought we'll meet like this? Okay, cool. So, friends, last time I remember we left on the note that one more interesting invention had happened in the time of Renaissance, and that was the invention of the printing press. So, what I'll do is I'll quickly revise, maybe in 5 minutes, just what we heard last time for the benefit of the people who were not there last time. So basically, we have been talking about this. A period called as golden century in Spain, golden age in Spain, and it happens to be during the 15th and the 16th and the 17th century in Spain, and it coincides with a European phenomena, European movement called as Renaissance, and another movement that followed Renaissance immediately was Baroque period actually. So these two together actually form the Siglo de Oro. So what we've learned last time is that Siglo de Oro or Renaissance, the first part of Siglo de Oro, Renaissance is basically a French word which means rebirth, and the corresponding Spanish word is Renacimiento. So basically, Renacimiento is a kind of reaction to the Middle Age. Middle Age was the age or the time just before Renaissance. That is, you can say, from 5th century AD to 13th, 14th century AD. That is the Middle Age, in which it was a society that was not connected to the rest of the world. A zamindari system, or in this case, you can call it as the feudal lords, or in Spanish, it is feudalismo. Feudalism was prevalent, where one person is the owner of the land, and serfs, peasants, farmers, they work on the land, and that is the main social system, the main occupation of the people. Tilling the land, farming is the main occupation of the people. And there were very two clear cut classes in that society, high class and the lower class. High class was the king himself, his relatives, and these zamindars or these feudal lords who were the noblemen. And it also incorporated the church, that is the people of the church, the clergy, bishops. There are quite a few positions in the church, so all these people belong to the high class, and the poor people were the farmer, peasants, and other important occupations like ironsmiths, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it was an unequal society. The poor were oppressed, the rich were oppressive, and it was a society where education was not that prevalent. There was no contact with the rest of the world actually. And this society started changing towards the 13th and the 14th century, when some people, they started trade, and the merchant class evolved, which because of which some people moved from the rural areas. It was a rural society predominantly, moved to the urban areas. The new wealth that was acquired, now these people started using this wealth to indulge in different kinds of arts also. Another important thing actually that had happened is that when last time we said that the Roman Empire fell in the 5th century, and then after that Europe slowly set into a dark age. A dark age is the time when we are in dark about that period, because not much actually happened. We don't have documents, we don't have even buildings from that time, so we don't know really what was happening, at least for 5 centuries, at least till the 11th century or so. We don't know what was happening. And after that, like I said, that was this feudal period that was dominant at that time. What was happening in the other part of the world, especially in the Islamic world, which the Islamic Renaissance, when after the Prophet Muhammad, immediately this Islamic Renaissance has started, and its seat was in Baghdad. So 8th century was the start of Islamic Renaissance, and it started in the times of this Caliph called as Harun al-Rashid. And these people now, so this is 8th century, right? Roman Empire fell in the 5th century, around 5th century. So it's not two, so it's just three centuries between them. So what happens whenever we say that a golden period is starting, there are few um, very important criteria for a golden period of any society to begin. For one, it has to have some sort of a stable leadership. there should be enough security so that people can work on their things, people can work on art, people can work on their different occupations. Secondly, there has to be enough freedom in the society, there has to be enough justice in the society. They kind of go hand in hand. I mean, I have to be sure that if I work properly, I will be rewarded for it, this thing. And secondly, for arts, literature, even business to excel, you need certain amount of freedom, certain amount of space where you can function. So these things were now found in that Baghdad, in Islamic Baghdad that time. And from there it spread to other parts of Islam, like these people went and captured other areas, and wherever they went, this Islamic renaissance, their own golden age spread over there. So this went right up to Asia, and then of course North Africa, till the tip of North Africa, Tunisia, Morocco. And it was part of this Islamic renaissance that these Moroccans actually had captured Spain. So realistically, Spain actually had a golden period. Rest of the Europe was in dark, but Spain did have a golden period for a very long time actually after that, because southern Spain especially was Islamic at that time. Well, at least the national religion was Islamic. Jews, Christians, and of course Muslims, they all lived together, but the religion was Islam. So what important thing had happened during this time is that when the Roman Empire fell and the Greeks fell before that, these important inventions, discoveries, philosophical writings, literature, what the Greeks and the Romans had, now this was getting lost. What happened is, because of the Islamic Renaissance, the people in this Islamic countries, they went and got them again. They retrieved them, and a lot of scholars from Greece, from Rome, and different parts of the world, they used to flock in now in these Islamic countries. Because whenever there is a golden age, there is a chance for patronage. So if I'm an artist, obviously I will want to go in a place where my art is recognized and I'm paid for it. So these were the places where you would get your price and you would get that kind of freedom. And these Islamic countries, they offered this substantial amount, in substantial amount, this freedom was offered. So in Baghdad also, there is this huge university, there was a huge university and a great library in Baghdad. So these, when we say Islamic golden age, it doesn't mean that only Muslims were working on it. People from India went there, people from Greece came there, people from North Africa, Egyptians were coming there. So but everybody was welcome. Nobody was forced to change anything, change religion or anything. You just have to work in whatever language is prevalent at that point of time in that country. That is about it. But all this knowledge that was brought, now these Muslims, all these Islamic countries were able to keep with them. So this knowledge that was going to be lost by the knowledge that was gathered by the Greeks and Romans for almost a millennium, this was going to be lost if it wasn't for this Islamic golden age. And what interesting thing happened is that when the European golden age started, it started only because, I'm sorry, I'm going a little back, but if you understand this, you will understand the significance, and once and for all, you'll be very clear what Renaissance is and what is its significance. So that started, actually, these people now were exposed to the Islamic Empire. And how were they exposed? And that was also because of the Crusades. Now, Crusades were these holy wars that were happening in 13th, 12th, 11th centuries. You must have heard of the word knight, a brave knight. Well, it comes actually from that point in time, that period, where everybody was fighting for the Holy Land. Jerusalem was important for Christians, Muslims, and Jews, and everybody wanted to have authority over this. And in the garb of religion, a lot of people wanted to have an authority over this because it was an important trade center. It was at a very strategic location for trade from Europe to Asia. So everybody wanted their supremacy over this city of Jerusalem. And that is the time when a lot of Europeans, these knights, they used to come to Jerusalem, and they used to fight with the Jews and the Muslims. They all used to fight. But in this period of time, they were able to take some ideas also back. This was happening for 2-3 centuries. So with them, they took some ideas there. So this is how the first time, again after a millennium, that the Greek knowledge, which was actually European, reached Europe again. So this actually reached them via the Islamic people. And Spain played a very major role because Spain was right there in Europe itself. So a lot of things that were a lot of Greek documents were translated in Spain in Arabic, and now again from Arabic they were translated in Latin and then eventually in vernacular languages as well. So this is how these Greek ideas, which were European ideas only, but now they re-reached them, they reached them again via this sort of Islamic golden age. Okay, so this is where we had come, that finally, because of this merchant class, because of these new ideas, and because the philosophers and writers, they were realizing this is a very inward looking society which is just going down, and if we have to move further, we need to know a way up. We need to have a complete change of mindset in all this. And at that time they were searching for new ways to think, new ways to live a life. And that is when they found these Greek texts and Roman texts, and they found texts which were written by the likes of Aristotle, Socrates, or rather Plato. Socrates never wrote himself, but Aristotle, Plato, Roman Cicero. So these texts were found by these people. And especially in Florence, in Italy, Florence was actually ruled by they had a republic at that time, but the main most influential people were this Medici family, who were actually merchants, and they were extremely rich. Because of their richness, Florence had also become rich, and they were very open minded, and they really patronized this Greek and Roman kind of mindset. And from Florence, which is supposed to be the epicenter of Renaissance, it spread all over the world. Spain, like we discussed, had its own conditions. It was not very welcoming of the Jews. It expelled 1.5 lakh Jews and Muslims together. It went through their own phase of um, absence of middle class. And then later, because of that, they dwindled, they stayed in the Middle Ages for another 100 years. And it was finally in 1492 were they able to see some kind of change. 1492 is an important year. Is it not only, I mean, an important year because it actually marked the um, expelling of Jews, but it's also an important year because it was 1492 in which Columbus actually discovered America. He wanted to go to India, but he landed in America instead. Between Isabella and Ferdinand, the Catholic monarchs, they had decided that Ferdinand will take care of the interior territories in Spain. He will unify them. He will take care of that. And some neighboring places. He was especially interested in Italy because Italy was really rich. And Isabella now had the task of finding new routes, to reach Asia, because Turkey was, see, so if you see in the map, you will see that Turkey is the sort of a connector between Asia and Europe. So there is a land route through Turkey to Europe. Although there is Mediterranean Sea, there is Aegean Sea. Through Turkey, you can actually go to Europe via land from Asia. So now Turkey was initially under the Christian rule. Now it came under the original Turkish rule, the Ottomans. And once they captured Turkey, or Istanbul, the capital, they didn't allow that passing of the Europeans to Asia, or they levied very, very heavy taxes, which made the Europeans, it was a necessity for them to now find new routes, and that was via sea. And that's why Columbus set his voyage from Spain, and instead of reaching India, he reached America. So all this was happening now in Spain. Okay, 1492 is an important year. Also, what had happened is Isabella was from Castile, and Fernando was from Aragon. Now, Castile was far more powerful than Aragon, actually. And the Spanish that we are speaking right now, that is also, some of you might know, maybe some of you might not know, Castellano, we call that Spanish as Castellano Spanish. See, it's very, I'll tell you in our context, in Indian context, so you'll understand it better. Like if I say I speak Indian, if a foreigner comes and he says I speak Indian, and we'll be like, okay, but which Indian language? We speak Hindi, we speak Marathi, Bengali, Tamil, so many languages. Which is the language that you speak? So if I go to Spain and I say I speak Spanish, they'll be like, okay, but what language do you speak? Do you speak Castellano? You speak Basque, Catalan? What is that language? So basically, what we know as Spanish is actually Castellano. Like for instance, Mandarin is the Chinese language that most people speak, and you called it Chinese, but actually it is Mandarin. Like so that's why Castellano is the language that was the language of Castile. and to unify them, like she converted every these Catholic monarchs, they converted people into Christians so that they can have loyalty towards religion, and by that they will have loyalty towards these monarchs. They also decided to have one common language for all the administrative work of the kingdom, and that they decided on Castellano. And that is how Castellano Spanish that we are speaking right now became the main Spanish language. It became the administrative language. It became language for legal affairs. Of course, other languages were also used, but this was like the main language. And in 1492 itself, a scholar called as Nebrija. Now he was a linguist. He was learned. He was a very learned scholar. He had learned Greek, Latin, and of course he was an expert in Castellano. And for the first time, somebody had compiled the Spanish grammar in one book, the rules of grammar in one book. Like, for instance, in our case, it was Panini who gave Sanskrit grammar, and that was in 5th century, actually. But now, this in Spanish, in the case of Castellano, Nebrija, a man by the name Nebrija, comes and he gives it to the Queen Isabella, and she's extremely happy that he is given that now, because they have this official, there are these official rules of how the language should be spoken. So that is how Castellano became very, very dominant. This is very important to understand, because when we talk of golden age of Spanish literature, we are essentially talking about golden age of Castellano. Of course, in other languages also it percolated, no doubt about that, but maximum and great works have been written in this language itself. Okay. So by the beginning of the 15th century, that is 1505 or so, or maybe the first 10, 15 years, the rule of Isabella and Ferdinand ended because they passed away, both of them. And the kings who then inherited this kingdom from these two monarchs, now they had a pretty stable kingdom, more or less stable kingdom, at least in terms of security. They had one country. And it is in this country that actually Renaissance started. So we are now talking about Siglo de Oro, which is the golden age of Spain. It has two parts in it. The first part is Renaissance, and the second part is called as Baroque period. In Spanish, the word is Barroca. It literally comes from the word a Portuguese word, same word. It is called as Barroca only, and it literally means an irregular pearl, moti, an irregular moti, which is not round. Okay, so in a while, quickly, I'll tell you why that kind of analogy is used here. So now we are stepping into Renaissance, and the first work of Renaissance, the one that commenced Renaissance, or the one that transitioned Spain from medieval age to Renaissance, is La Celestina. It's a novel, and it was written in 1499. And this is considered the first work, and it has all those qualities that the Renaissance in Italy was having. It is very much it is pertaining to humanism. It is talking about real qualities of a human being. Humanism, like I said last time, that humanism basically means development of human qualities, achieving the maximum that can be achieved by me in all aspects, in physical aspects, in intellectual aspects, and of course in spiritual aspects. I'm going to do the best, whatever can be done. Now that is the pursuit of these people. The Greeks, ancient Greeks, believed that this can be achieved through education, and that was what was happening in Italy and the rest of the Europe. Universities were becoming very, very popular, and they were getting a lot of importance. So now, another aspect of humanism is also realism. It's also called as realism. It's synonymous with that. Realism, they try to depict whatever is around you, reality around you. See, today, when I say this, for you and me, it's not at all foreign. We see a lot of books, we see in news today, we see a lot of serials where we talk about day-to-day life. But in those days, this was extremely new, because the novels before this, or the works of art before this, were pertaining to a genre called as chivalric romances. Now, chivalry, you must have heard of the word chivalry, okay? Gentlemanliness, okay? A man who is gentlemanly, who is caring, at the same time, he has these very strong ideals. That was the ideal, or that was the main theme that was there in these medieval novel, chivalric romances. So basically, there will be a knight, and you can now just before this, I gave you this sort of a preview what was happening there. So because of this fight, the holy wars, these knights were very popular. People having these swords and going and trying to rescue these holy lands or fighting for their religion. This kind of image was very, very popular, other than their own typical farming that they did. So this was the other highlight of that age, people fighting for their own religion. So basically the novels were centered around this set of people who were these brave knights, and then they had some woman that they used to love, and she was also from some noble family. Both these people are from noble family, and they go through a lot of hardships, and still they are very faithful to each other. And they well, in no case, absolutely never do they show any sort of flaw. No flaw is ever shown by these people. They're always ideal, almost godlike. So this is something that the Renaissance people said, this is not reality. We have to aspire to be really good people. We have to aspire to be the best of ourselves. But in reality, we are not like that. So first, we must actually face what we are, and then we can try to be really good. So this is the characteristic of medieval novels or the chivalric romances, that Renaissance people said, no, 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 we are not going to go ahead with this. We are going to show what is real life, what is happening in real life. So La Celestina, the first novel of the Renaissance period, 1499, written by Fernando de Rojas, the name of the author, actually has now these themes. Now, for the first time, it is starting to show the society the way it is, because it's a romance story. It is between this guy called as Callisto, and the name of the heroine is Melibea. Now, Melibea actually comes from a mixed origin. That is, she is no de sangre limpia. She has Jewish origin. So she is a converted Christian. So first time you will start seeing this. If you read the story, we won't go in detail right now. If you go, and it is very much available on the internet, there is a commentary available, there's a brief commentary available, entire translation all in English, and everything is for free. So if you read the story, you will start seeing that the things that were prevalent in that society, the change of mindset, even this concept of ideal love, no matter how tough the life is, I'm going to keep on doing what my religion says, or what are the ideals of love. Now these are actually changing. You will be able to see them in the book, but they are mentioned in a very subtle manner. They are not It's not a direct contrast to the medieval romances. In fact, in some places you will see, okay, they are very similar to the novels that have gone before. And the reason is, I told you, Spanish Inquisition was very strong. Anybody who went against the kings, the noblemen, and the church were punished severely. So nobody wanted to get in trouble with the Spanish Inquisition. And of course, when you're transitioning from one thing to another, you can actually note that this is transition. So basically, you will have characters of both the parts. So it could be anything, any kind of, if you're transitioning transitioning from you were not doing well health wise, and now you're towards good health, you will have a transition period, and you will see characteristics of both the states. Okay, so this novel actually marks both these things. So that is the significance of La Celestina, that it is the first time this kind of daring effort is done in a veiled manner, in a subtle manner, but it definitely kicks off the Renaissance. It starts the wheel of Renaissance in Spain. So then novels were written after that for some period of time. But there is one novel that is, so these novels, I'm sorry, so these novels that were written, now they had this direct influence of Italian Renaissance. Okay, so these themes were borrowed from Italian Renaissance, although they were very much responding to the Spanish society that was prevalent at that time. And they had influence of the classics, the Roman and the Greek people. So novels were written, and slowly Renaissance was starting to have its feet strong in this in Spain. There is one genre, one type of novel that is original is an original contribution of Spain to the literary world, not only to Renaissance Europe, not only to Europe, but the world entirely. And everybody is extremely thankful for that novel. And this comes very much from the Spanish soil. It comes as a complete reaction, it's entirely rooted in Spain. And this is the genre of the novel, novella picaresca. Okay, so novella is novel, and picaresca is basically pertaining to the life of a picaro. Now, who is a picaro? A picaro is a petty thief. A picaro is a petty thief. He is a person who is born in humble, he has a humble origin, in fact a poor person. And then he works for different masters throughout his lifetimes. He's basically working as a servant with different masters, and these masters are mostly, obviously, who can afford a servant. These are people from the higher class, the noblemen, and a lot of different positions that you have in the church: a friar, a clergyman, a bishop, a pope, even. Okay, so he works with these people, and he now looks at these people. Okay, now he, obviously, he is from a lower class, so he is very much aware of his situation of people like him. And now he is looking at these noble people. Okay, and he is seeing that these people are called as noblemen, and they are supposed to have all these ideal qualities, and externally they show that they have these qualities, but inside they are not practicing them. So it's a criticism of this hypocrisy that you find in this novella picaresca. It's a very interesting novel to read, and it is written in a very humorous manner. It is actually a satire. It's very sarcastic, and it's extremely interesting to read. And it became popular almost instantly, except one thing, that the person who wrote, the people who used to write these novels were generally anonymous, because this novel was a direct criticism of the church, of the noble people. And I mean, if somebody who wrote like this was found, there is no doubt that he would have been hanged in public in Spain at that time. So, one of the most representative novels of this genre, maybe even the first novel of this genre, is called as Lazario de Tormes. Lazario de Tormes is the name of the main guy, the main Picaro. So this novella picaresca is actually an autobiography. So the person, the servant himself, is talking about his own life. It's an autobiography. It's written in first person. Okay, so he works with 5, 6 different types of masters, and he talks about their hypocrisy, how they're. So for example, I'll tell you. So there is a nobleman, and it was very, very important how you look outside. That nobleman doesn't have food enough to feed himself. Forget feeding his servants, he doesn't even have food to feed himself, but externally he's showing his pomp. Externally, whatever needs to be seen as a rich person's, pertaining to a rich person's image, he's doing all those things. Or there is a archbishop who is supposed to have who is supposed to be who is not supposed to be married, and he is having an affair with his maid. So these kind of things he exposes through his novel. And there is a very interesting aspect to this kind of a novel, is that there is no way anybody who has not been the servant himself, like, can actually write this novel. I mean, to write these things, you actually have to go through them. It's the kind of details that have been written in this. It's almost impossible for anybody else to know about them. And they're very, very, very realistic. So it's like it has to be the person, the servant only has written this. But at the same time, the literary value of it, the kind of composition that is, the way he quotes Bible, he actually quotes Bible, and how these people are misquoting it, how. So it it actually comes from a person who is very educated. I mean, it's almost impossible to know these things if you're not an educated person. In fact, a very highly educated, a very well read person who understands how to write, who understands multiple genres of writing and all the other technical aspects of writing a good novel, it is obviously written by him. So there is still that sort of amazement, that sort of curiosity, that how is this possible, that if that person was so educated, how is he that he is working, how is it that he is working like a servant? Okay, so still people are in confusion. People say that they have been able to find out the author, but there are some people who disagree with that. So this is another important aspect. Like, for instance, Lazario, the main protagonist is the chief character. Lazario, whose point of view you get in this novel, in this particular, Lazario is a son of a poor woman and a black man. So his father is from the his father has this African origin, and he even has a brother who he calls Negrito. Negrito, negro is black. The word for black in Spanish is negro, and Negrito is like a little black person. Okay, so this is a very real depiction of the society. For the first time, you can see that in his novel itself. And the father of this Lasario, he is also working as a servant for somebody, and that person has to go in the war, and the father is now forced to go in the war with him. I mean, that father has no opinion of his own, that he's a servant and he has to do what the master says, and he's killed in that actually. So his mom, his mother, who is extremely poor, she cannot afford to raise him, so she gives him away to a blind beggar. She gives him away to a blind beggar, so he works as an apprentice, he works as an assistant to a beggar, and all his life he keeps on working as an assistant to these various different personalities. So I mean, this itself will give you an idea that it's a very funny thing that a beggar has an assistant. And um, yeah, actually, just read it. I mean, it's a beautiful novel, very easy, good translations are available online for free. So this is your Lasario de Tormes, and
Guys, sorry to interrupt you. How much more time would you need?
do you want to continue with the class?
Yeah, but
Okay,
if you are about to finish, I would give another 10 minutes or so.
okay, I guess we can finish with Lasario de Tormes, I think, and because there is a lot, I just
I
actually
know, I
don't
know.
know how to,
You
yeah,
you you are master in this field. You can talk a lot about that, but how
yeah,
much time do we allot is important.
yeah,
So
cool. Oh, yeah. Okay, okay, cool. So maybe 5 minutes, another 5 minutes.
okay, okay, fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So we will just conclude our novella picaresca here. Like I said, you can go ahead and read that. The second novel that I will, there is no way you can talk about Spanish Renaissance or Spanish Golden Age without talking about this particular novel. And it's called as Don Quixote, or Don Quixote de la Mancha. And it literally translates as the adventure of this ingenious gentleman, Don Quixote de la Mancha. Okay, and it was written by an author, and his name is Miguel de Cervantes, and it was written in 1605. So it has been almost 100 years from the time that Celestina has been written, and till the time now. Now this is the time when Spain reaches its zenith, its peak of literature with Miguel de Cervantes' Don Quixote. Now, what happens in Don Quixote? So Don Quixote de la Mancha is essentially a criticism again of chivalric romances. Okay, so but it is written in an exquisite manner. So this is now obviously it's a completely different topic where you talk about technical aspects of literature. Okay, but in a very thematic manner, I can tell you that it has it. So the main character in this, the main protagonist of this novel is Don Quixote himself. So Don Quixote is a name of this Hidalgo is like a lower class nobleman. He's a nobleman, but a lower class nobleman. Okay, so this Hidalgo, he's an Hidalgo, and he reads too many of these chivalric romances. Okay, and then he reads them so much that he has these bouts of madness actually, and he starts thinking that he is a knight, and then he should go on some journey and rescue women who are in problems, rescue men and who are in problems, and he should go fighting for some very very noble cause. And all this he is doing as an imaginary thing. And when he sets on this journey, how some really interesting incidents happen along the way, and this is written very intelligently. This journey is actually about that. And eventually there are two parts to it actually. Eventually he is able to realize, he is able to come to his senses, he realizes what it is, and he has this niece, and he tells his niece that I will marry you. There is this one guy she wants to marry, and he's like, I will marry you to him on one condition, that he shouldn't read these chivalric romances. Okay, so this is the end of that novel, but it's a fantastic journey, and it's a classic criticism on the foolishness of these chivalric romances. But it is written in a very different kind of a manner, in which sometimes you feel, is Cervantes on the side of chivalric romances? Is he upset that this age of chivalric romances has come to an end? Or sometimes you feel he's in the side of the larger public, which says that all this idealism, fake idealism, has to end. So it's a very too many nuances. Actually, it is supposed to be one of the top novels, top 5 novels ever written in the world, actually. So that was Don Quixote for you. Cervantes himself was actually a poor person. Most of his life he lived in poverty, and all this sort of fame that he earned only 3-4 years before he died. And since he was poor, he even worked as a soldier, actually, in many of Spain's wars, actually. And in fact, that was the characteristic of a lot of authors at that time, that they used to be called as hombres de armas y letras. Hombres means men, hombre is man, hombres is men. De armas, armas is weapons or arms, letras is alphabets. So men of weapons and alphabets. So these are the men who went to war and fought, but at the same time they wrote very sensitive prose and poetry as well. So I think I'm going to stop now, because I don't know where is the boundary that one should stop. There is, you see this effect everywhere. You see in poetry, there are 2 3 other original genres, in painting as well, many other art forms and everything. I think it can take at least 1 hour even to explain it briefly, but I think I'm going to stop right now. So yeah, over to you, Prasad Sobhani.
Thanks a lot, Zai Gorpade. And
Let's give a round of applause to Zai first, and then we'll move ahead.
Very true, very true.
Very true.
Okay, if you need any further info on this, contact Zai. You will she will tell this for another 3 hours if you want. No, I'm joking, not 3 hours, but she speaks very passionately about this subject. I think it is very close to her heart, and that could be the reason for that. But for now, we have to move forward. Prasad Joshi had joined after his technical glitch earlier, and we had decided to cover 2 important things today besides the continuation. One is something known as accent. So let me just brief you in brief on this. Let's take the name of Sonali here. Okay, so you can, in Marathi or Hindi, there is no concept of accent. We have something which is dirgha and raswa, or short and long vowel. So we have E and double E, I and double E, or U and double O. So these are all. May I mute everyone, please? There is some background noise coming from somewhere. Okay. So we have I and double E, U and double O. These are, in a way, you could say accents, but otherwise we don't have concept of accent. But let's take the name of Sonali. So you could pronounce it as Sonali, or you could pronounce it as Sonali, because Li is dirgha or longer. Or typically Europeans would pronounce her name as Sonali. Does it happen to you, Sonali? The Europeans would pronounce your name as Sonali. The reason for that is they like
That's true. I mean, I've worked with people from different countries, so everybody says it differently.
The reason for that is there is a concept of accent in many countries, and
Prasad, I would like to add something. Usually in French, Italian, and Spanish languages, the accent is on the second last syllable. Okay, so na li are the 3 syllables.
Second last syllable is usually given accent.
Yeah, default mode is on the second last syllable. Yeah, so
I'm first of all talking about accent. So let me finish that, please. So there is a concept of accent in most European languages. We don't have that in India. If my name is Prasad, then Prasad, all 3 are equally important. But in some languages, if there are multiple vowels, some vowels get more importance, and that's why there is a concept of accent. So in case of Sonali, they would give accent on A by drawing a tilted line on top of the alphabet A. Okay, in French, E typically gets an accent. You might have seen 3 types of accent for E in French. You might have seen words like tête à tête, which means head to head, which is used in tennis or other tournaments when they show results, or even teams. For example, today there is a match between CSK and KKR, and what is the result of last 12 years of rivalry of these 2 teams? So they will show tête à tête, head to head. So in that case, that E has got circumflex, which is a cap like this. So there are different ways of pronouncing each of these alphabets based on the accent. So far we have not covered that. So I thought first I'll inform you that there is a concept of accent, because of which the pronunciation differs. Second thing is, in most languages, they don't know how to pronounce somebody like Ajay or Ashok. They always say Ajay or Ashok. In some languages, they don't have the concept of like Japanese doesn't have the concept of so they will say Ajay or Ashok, or not for the first few alphabets. They can have the concept of the last alphabet, like Vilas will always be Vilas because it ends there. S is the last alphabet of that particular name, last letter. So it ends there. Ninad, it ends there. But for other names, such as Manju, they will say Manju because they don't know how to pronounce because they are not accustomed to having in the first half or up to penultimate alphabet of a word. So this is one concept which you must understand, that there are people who will have different concepts about your name. Sanjana Sri Kant. So they will say Sri Kant, but if the name is Prachi Ambolkar, let's say her name is not Ambolkar but Ambolkar, then they will say Ambolkar because they can't pronounce at the beginning. So this is something which is what we have to learn, and Prasad is going to show you what are the different accents, and he will also tell you how to pronounce those. The second concept which you all must know is, while we have not covered the pronouns, that is I, we, you, he, she, it, they in English, there are words for that. Although they are not used in most cases, you don't say I am eating, you just say, or I eat, you just say eat. And people understand with that you are eating, or ablo, and people understand that it means yo ablo because it is like that. In Marathi also we say boltoy, which means me boltoy, obviously, because boltoy will not be said by any other second person, third person, or first person plural as well.
Yeah,
plural you can say ami boltoy, you can say, okay, but usually it is understood adhyarut that this means this. But there are occasions when you have to use those. For example, if there is a teacher in the class who says that this drawing is excellent, who has done that? And then you would say, I did it. So you will say yo. So in such case, it is necessary to know them. And Prasad is going to cover that as well today.
Yeah.
Over to you, Prasad, now to take it further.
Thank you very much. And to get a better what Zai covered, whatever Zai covered, that was excellent, and it was a very thorough treatment to the subject. If you want to get an idea of what a picaresque novel is, I mean, it is not possible to go through the Spanish literature for you at this stage. But I would, has anybody watched the movie History of the World? Prasad, have you watched the movie History of the World?
No, I have not.
It's it mocks the way a picaresque novel mocks the chivalry, like for example, braveness, courage.
Prasad, your voice needs to be louder, please.
Yeah, the way, for example, in the novel, they mock the ideals of chivalry, like for example, bravery, courtesy, and other things. The same way you will find in the movie History of the World by Mel Brooks. I think it's the movie's banned, but people do like to enjoy banned movies, and I'm sure you will watch that. But there you will see that Inquisition, and Mel Brooks has played the role of that Torquemada, that he was the chief inquisitor at that time. It a very satirical and mocking style he has picturized that theme. Do watch the movie to get a better idea of what a picaresque picture is. I won't say a novel, but yeah, it's very true. Also, it is very true that the inquisitions were carried out by inquisitors, and the main influence was that of Jesuits. The Jesuits, I mean, in Pune, we have a school, Loyola High School. That Loyola is named after Ignatius Loyola, who was a soldier, and he founded that Jesuit order. Those people were fanatics, and but still they were the pioneers in education all over Europe for as many as 150 years. They were the ones who contributed in the academic field all over the almost all over the world, but at least 150 years in Europe. So that is one aspect. Secondly, as far as other things are concerned, novel and literature is one thing, but as far as paintings are concerned, then Velasquez, Murillo, Zurbarán, and El Greco, those are the paintings of that era, as well as you will see some of the best dramas by Lope de Vega. So in that way, the period is quite interesting, and golden age, it really was a golden age for many reasons. Apart from the blot of Inquisition, but it was really in the truest sense, it was golden age. So with that, we come back to our topic, grammar. And today, last time we had covered IR verbs. I know it sounds boring, but verb is the main part. It's the main action and the theme of every sentence. So we'll go back to that. We'll start with the IR verbs, their conjugation, and how we can form sentences using that. Prasad, I think I can share the screen.
Yeah. You are co-host already.
I think we had covered a few verbs from this list. Can you see the slide? Can you see the slide?
Yeah.
See.
Okay. We had covered a few verbs. Añadir, asistir, describir, discutir, escribir. Interrumpir. Can we start with someone? Let's say Abhishek. Abhishek, I think, is not there. Abhishek or Ninad is not there. Someone had written on the.
That was Prachi. Yeah. She left. Abhishek was there. Okay. I saw him re-enter.
Okay.
But if he's not Abhishek, there, we'll move to Aditya.
Aditya, can you shall I give you lead for interrumpir?
Okay.
If you find it difficult, we'll skip it for the time being. We'll go for cumplir for the time being. Okay. I'll give you lead for cumplir. Let's skip interrumpir for the time being. Let's go for cumplir. Okay. Remove IR part and add these endings. Can you add?
Okay. Cumplo.
Perfecto.
Cumples. Cumple. Cumpleimos. Cumplimos. Cumpleis.
No. Remove IR.
Okay.
Then rest of the CUMPL plus IS. That is cumplice.
IS. Okay. Cumple IS.
No. Cumplice.
Cumplice.
Yeah.
And cumple.
Bijur, there is no alphabet after L. CUMPL, and then you have to add. So there is no I or E after that. Complaint.
Okay, complaint.
Yeah. Okay, ocurrir. Can someone do that? You have to remove IR part, the terminal IR part, and after that double R, you have to place these verb endings. Okay, I think Ajay Patil is there. Can he conjugate that verb? Yeah.
Accuro.
Ocurro. I'll give you lead. Ocurro.
Ucuro. Ucures.
Ocurres. Perfecto.
Ucre.
Ocurre.
Ucrimos.
Ocurrimos.
Ucudimos. Ucris.
Ocurris.
Ucudis.
Ocurren.
Ocurren.
Yeah. Next
others, please stay silent when somebody is trying.
Partir.
Remain silent.
Partir, to leave. The KNSL turno. Whose turn is that?
After that, it will be Jitendra Usara.
Yeah, Jitendra. Senior Jitendra. Partir. Can you conjugate that? You have to just
see sir. Yeah. Parto. Partes. Parte. Partimos. Partis. Parten.
Okay. ¿A qué hora partimos? ¿A qué hora partimos? At what time do we leave the meeting? Por ejemplo, la reunión. ¿A qué hora partimos? At what time do we leave? A las 6, a las 7, a las 8, a las 9. ¿A qué hora? At what time? We leave. You will say we leave. How will you say we leave?
Acriumos.
No. Partir means to leave.
Party. Okay. Yeah.
Jitendra, how will you say we leave? We leave.
So partimos.
A las 8:30. Am I right? 8:30. 8:30. Okay. Partimos a las 8:30 at 8:30. We leave at 8:30. Okay. Bueno. Who is the next one? Receive. To receive.
Manju. Manju after that.
Yes. Sorry, 2 minutes. Recibo, recibes, recibe, recibimos, recibis,
Huh?
reci,
Ben.
ben.
Reciben.
Yeah.
Vale, vale. Recibo, recibes, recibe, recibimos, recibis, reciben. Okay. Next one. Subir, to go up, climb.
Yes, sir.
Ninad.
Subo,
Huh?
subes,
Subes.
sube,
Huh?
subeimos,
No, no, no.
subemos.
Okay, okay. Just remove this IR part. What remains is sub. And after that, add subis. Okay. Subimos, subis, suben.
Subemos,
Huh?
subi, suben.
Subis, and suben. Yeah. Okay. Sufrir, to suffer.
Yes, sir. Sufro,
Huh?
sufres, sufre, sufreimos,
No, no, no. Sufrimos.
sufres,
देखो
sufrimos,
एक आय निकल जाता है, एक आय निकल जाता है. सुफ्रीर का जो आयर है ना, वो आयर निकल जाता है. तो यू आर लेफ्ट विथ ओनली वन आय हियर. In first person plural as well as in second person plural, you are left with only one I. So it essentially comes to sufrimos and sufris.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you tend to say sufriimos, sufriis. It's
Okay.
not like that. Sufrimos, sufris. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sufrimos, sufris, sufren.
Perfecto. Sobrevivir, to survive. Next one.
Yeah, Pramod here.
Okay.
Sobrevivo,
Muy bien.
sobrevives,
Sobrevives.
sobrevimes, sobrevive.
Un momento. Yeah, you are saying third person singular, am I right?
Yes,
Sobrevivo.
yes.
Sobrevives. Sobrevive.
Yeah. Sobrevivimos,
Sobrevivimos.
sobrevivimos, sobrevivies,
Sobrevivis.
yeah, and sobreviven, sobreviven.
Sobreviven. Yeah, remove the IR part. After VIV, just add EN. Sobreviven. I'll say it for you. Yeah. Sobrevivo.
Sobrevivo,
Sobrevives.
sobrevives,
Sobrevive.
sobrevive,
Sobrevivimos.
sobrevivimos,
Sobrevivis.
sobrevivis,
Sobreviven.
sobreviven.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. I think, yeah.
After that, it will be
Okay.
Prachi who has left.
No.
So
I think
Pratiksha.
No. I have finished off with this part.
Okay.
We'll go back to the exercise on IR verbs. Here I have combined AR, ER and IR verbs, but I think you have covered plenty of AR verbs, but I think ER and IR, I think you need some practice. So I have provided wherever necessary the help available in these boxes. So you are going to choose the correct form of the verb. Aprender, to learn. So whose turn is that after perhaps some senior Pramod?
Pratiksha.
Pratiksha, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you do the first?
Yes.
Nosotros. Nosotros means we. Nosotros means we. We learn the history. Yeah. How will you say?
Nosotros aprendemos la historia.
La historia. H is silent. Muy bien.
Yeah, historia.
Yeah. It's ER verb. So look for the ER verb box. Look for the ER verb box. You should essentially understand that it's ER verb ending It's ER verb, so you should look for ER verb endings, not IR verbs. Okay, I have given the verbs in the root form. So for example, cometer, it ends in ER, so you should look in the box for ER verbs. Okay, cometer to commit. Okay, next one, Prasad Lima is not there.
Yeah, he's not there, but we have Prerna is also missing today.
Okay.
Sanika,
Sir, I am there.
Okay, then go ahead. Shoot, please, Prerna.
Vosotros cometo muchos errores. Errores.
Okay, vosotras means you all girls. Vosotras means you all. Vosotras addresses exclusive female gathering. So vosotras, you all girls, you commit many errors. So vosotras is second person plural. Accordingly, that is the subject is in second person plural. So the verb form cometer will also come in second person.
Yes.
So how will you form it?
Vosotras cometes muchos errores.
Comet una vez más. Say the verb form una vez más. I think there is some background noise, Prasad.
Yes, sir.
That was from Prerna's home actually.
Okay. Could you please say the verb form una vez más? Cometer, the verb form of cometer. Which one you will use?
Cometes.
No, cometes. Vosotras is second person plural. You all. It means you all. You all.
It will come, sir. Cometais.
Cometeis. It will be
cometeis.
Second person plural.
Yes,
so,
cometeis.
Yeah. Okay. Had it been only one single, cometes. Tú cometes muchos errores. You commit lot of mistakes or errors. But since it's more than one person, it will be second person plural, and it will accordingly take second person plural form of the word cometeis. Okay. Deber. Deber, apart from the usual meaning of must, it also means to owe. Okay. For example, deber to owe, you, to means you, and 60 euros. You owe 60 euros. How will you say next one? I think Sanika is there. Prerna after Sanika is there.
Is there? I didn't see her. Sanika.
Sanjana
is there. We can.
Okay, Sanjana.
Yes,
okay.
Sir. So it is tú debes 60 euros.
60 euros.
60 euros.
Perfecto.
Yeah.
Cooperar. Now someone was asking whether two vowels, same two vowels come together. How should I pronounce? For example, leer. Similarly, here two vowels come together, but the difference is the vowel is o. Cooperar. Cooperar, to cooperate. You can. The trick is to break up as per the syllable. Cooperar. That is the way. That is how you should break it up. Cooperar, to cooperate. Can you say? For cooperar, to cooperate, Jorge y Alejandra. Yes. Senora Sanjana. After Sanjana, I think back to Abhishek. Am I right?
No. We have Seshadri. Seshadri, Sonali.
Yeah.
Vikram, Vilas.
Yeah, Senor Seshadri.
Yeah.
Jorge y Alejandra. Fourth one.
So. Yeah.
This is third person plural. Okay. So that will take third person plural of AR verb. Yeah.
Third person.
Cooperar.
Cooperan.
Cooperan. Yeah, cooperan. Okay. Cooperan nunca. Huh? What are the AR verb endings? O, as, a, amos, ais, an. So instead of E, here if you see, here you can see the ER verb endings. Just replace that E by A and you get AR verb endings. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. So that is the help available. Cooperar, Jorge y Alejandra, say third person plural, will take third person plural of cooperar, cooperan. No cooperan nunca. They never cooperate. Okay. So, muy bien. Next one.
Sonali.
Y tú and you. Okay, it is not yo, itu, and you. You is second person singular. Okay. Now choose second person singular of hablar.
Hablas.
Yes, yes. Tú hablas español. The tone should be that of a question. Tú, ¿y tú
Right.
hablas
So,
español? You speak Spanish?
¿Y tú hablas español?
Yeah. Can you see this particular construction? I mean, you won't find in English a sentence broken up like this. A comma after that comes a question mark. Okay. So in the midst of a sentence, you can pose a question that happens in Spanish. Okay. This type of construction is usually not seen in English. Okay. Next one, yo sakar, AR verb. Okay. Sakar means to take photos, take a snap. Whose turn is that? Yo and Sako. Yo means I.
Vikram.
Sakar is regular AR. Just change the ER verbs to AR verbs by changing E to A, and you will get AR verb endings. Instead of the E here, put A, and you will get O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Now you have to do it for yo. Yo means I. Okay. Senior Vikram. I think it's not that Prasad.
Okay, Vilas.
Senior Vilas.
Yeah. It becomes Saco. Saco las fotos de la iglesia.
Yeah. Muy bien. Next one, Elios. Elios means they.
We go back to Abhishek or Aditya, whoever is there.
Okay.
Abhishek, can you say this, or Aditya is there?
Yes, I'm there. Aditya is there.
Okay. Elios means they. They is third person plural. So you have to make a third person plural of ER verb aprender. ER verb aprender. What you see here is AR verb. So I'll help you out with this verb. ER verb OSA, emos, is. I can bring down the box also. One moment. Yeah. Hope it helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Aprendo.
Elios means they.
Okay, Elios means they.
They is which person? They is which person? First, second, or third person?
Third.
Third person. Is it singular or when I say they, it means more than one person is performing the action. So it is third person plural.
Correct.
Okay. So third person plural of the verb of aprender. This is first person. This is second person. This is third person.
Third person.
Yeah. This is the column for singulars. This is the column for plurals.
So, Ellen. Elios. Aprender is learn. They'll
remove ER part first and add these endings.
Okay.
Remove ER.
Elios aprendo.
No, aprendo would mean I learn.
I learn. Oh, sorry. Aprendies.
No, aprendies means you all learn. You want to say they learn.
They aprende.
Aprende is third person singular.
Singular.
Yeah. Had it been only he or she, he learns, then you would have said aprende. But they all learn. How will you say?
Emos. So it will be aprendemos. Aprendemos.
Aprendemos is first person plural.
Sorry. Oh God.
This is third person. This
third
is the
person.
First,
Aprende.
Okay, this is the first row is for first person. The first row is for first person. The second row is for second person. The third row is for third person. The first column is for singular and the second column is for plural. So essentially this means third person singular and this is third person plural. This is second person singular and second person plural. This is first person singular and first person plural. So it should be aprenden. Aprenden a patinar sobre hielo. in English also you say you learn to skate on ice. So you don't have to conjugate patinar. Okay, patinar means to skate. Usually in English also where you say they learn to skate on ice, and skate is not conjugated. For example, he learns to skates. You don't say like that. He learns to skate on ice. Okay, so you keep patinar as it is. Don't conjugate as per Elios. Okay. Now next one, Ajay. Remember, es posible, es importante, es mejor, es fácil. After this, you don't have to do anything. Whatever has verb has been provided, whatever action has been provided, put it as it is and just change the tone of the question. Okay. What does this sentence mean? Is it possible to skate on ice in Rajasthan? Is it possible to skate on ice in Rajasthan? Senior Ajay is there.
Ajay is there.
Okay.
I
Just say yes or
can't
no.
see him.
Okay.
Ajay?
Next one.
No, I think he might not be there then. Next person would be Ashok. If he's there. Ashok, are you there?
I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, please
Can
speak.
you do it? Is it possible? What I'm asking is it possible to skate on ice in Rajasthan? Is it possible? See or no?
No está.
No. Is it just say see or no? Is it possible to skate on ice in Rajasthan?
No posible.
No es posible.
No es posible.
And, remove these blanks and say the sentence. Remove these blanks and say the sentence. Open up the bracket. No es posible patinar sobre hielo en Rajasthan. Okay. You don't have to conjugate patinar. You don't have to conjugate patinar because this is called impersonal expression. In English also you say, is it possible to skate? It is important to go. It is urgent to get a bus. Something like that. So you, whatever it is important, it is easy, it is difficult. After that, in English also you place the verb in root form. That is, you say the verb starting with to. Okay. You don't conjugate it. Okay. So no es posible, no es posible patinar sobre hielo en Rajasthan. Okay.
No es okay.
No es posible patinar sobre hielo en Rajasthan. Only thing is that you have to change the tone of the question. ¿Es posible patinar sobre hielo en Rajasthan? No es posible patinar sobre hielo en Rajasthan. Okay. That should be the tone, should be that of a tone should be a flat tone, making a statement rather than a question. Okay.
Prasad, this means you have to first say no, then again no es.
Yeah. No, it is not possible. Just like in English, you say no, it is not possible. Once you say no, and then again you say it is not. Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, you make a repetition in Spanish. Two negatives, don't make it a positive. Okay. Because there is a comma in between. Okay. Next one. Ajay Patil is back. So can we will give Ajay a chance. Subir to climb up. Okay. Subir to climb up. Las escaleras means staircase. So yo means I. I climb up the staircases. So you have to say subir corresponding to I. Now this is subir ends in IR. So you have to choose the IR verb form endings. Those are OSA, imos, is, N. So can you do it?
Subido last. Subido last. Subido is the conjugation.
No, remove IR. First remove IR. What remains is sub. And then add OSA, imos, is, N. As per this yo means I. I is first person singular. That means you have to choose this form. Okay.
Subo as.
Las
Subo las escaleras.
Subo las escaleras. Perfecto. Now next one. After Ashok, I think Jitendra is there. Jitendra, can you please do the next one? It's AR verb. It's AR verb. Remember, O as a amos is an. Okay. Elena is name of a girl. Elena is name of a girl. Ayudar is AR verb. Ayudar is AR verb. So when you conjugate that Elena is third person singular, according to you, you have to choose third person singular form of AR verb ayudar. So O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Can you say the conjugation of ayudar?
Yeah. So Elena ayuda a Roberto el sábado.
Perfecto, perfecto. Muy bien. Elena ayuda a Roberto el sábado. Next one, comprar. It's also AR verb. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Siempre, always, you buy a dozen of one dozen bananas. You always buy 1 dozen bananas. You always buy 1 dozen bananas. So I think Manju, can you say this sentence? You buy. You means second person singular.
Yeah, so it will be compras.
Muy bien.
Compras. It will be tú compras una docena de plátanos.
Yeah, de plátanos. Yeah. Plátanos. You can also plátanos also. Bananas come in two flavors. The plátanos are more like the small ones we see. Like in Marathi we say velchi kela, something small one, and that's sweeter also. That is plátano, whereas bananas are the big ones. Ecuador is one of the biggest exporters of bananas, South American country speaking Spanish. Okay, mi hermano. Mi hermano means my brother. Which person is that? Mi hermano. Okay, Ninad, Senior Ninad. Is he there?
Yes.
Okay, Ninad, can you try? Mi hermano means my brother. My brother is which person? Anything apart from I, we, and you is third person.
Third singular.
Yeah, third singular. So escuchar का आपको escuchar जो verb है, AR verb है वो, उसका third person singular लगाने का है आपको. O as a, AR remove करो. O as a, amos, ais, an लगाने का है.
Yes, sir.
So what will be?
Escucha.
Escucha. Muy bien. Escucha. Yeah. Mi
Música.
hermano escucha música cuando, when he studies. My brother listens classical music or whatever music when he studies. Mi hermano is again third person singular. I am saying about the same subject. I am saying about the same subject. Cuando estudia. Which verb form of estudiar you will use?
Estudia.
Estudia. Muy bien. Mi hermano escucha música cuando estudia. Okay. The same subject is taking part in two actions. One action is that of listening to music, and the second activity is to study. Okay. So mi hermano escucha música. My brother listens to music when he studies. So he listens to music and he studies. Okay. Next one, cantar, again AR verb. Okay, you can take a clue from this ER verbs. Instead of E, you place A and you get AR verb endings. I think
Yes,
after
sir.
Ninad, Prachi is there.
Prajakta.
Okay, Prajakta.
Prachi is not there, no?
Okay. Elia. Elia means she.
She. So third person singular. Okay.
Perfecto.
So Elia canta en el coro de iglesia.
Make it in the question tone.
Question tone, okay.
Yeah.
Elia canto en el coro de iglesia.
Elia canta. Elia canta en el coro de iglesia. Yeah, it comes fast. I mean, the tempo is fast, little bit fast tempo you have to ask. Elia canta en el coro de iglesia. That is how.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay. It will come with practice. Don't
Excuse me.
Yes.
See, she is a first person. I mean, a single third person.
Yeah.
So cante or canta.
Since it's AR verb endings, there is no question of E coming anywhere. Okay. Canto, cantas, canta. This is ER verb I have given.
Okay.
But for AR, you have to, instead of E, wherever you come across E in ER verbs, you have to place A and you get conjugation for AR verbs. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. If you want AR conjugation, I can
Okay.
take the box down. Okay, un momentito. Yeah. This is the AR verb. What difference do
Okay.
you observe? There is no, just instead of E, you put A. Instead of amos, you put amos. N, an, A, a. That's the only difference. Okay. Next one.
Sí.
Un momentito, un momentito. Alejandro siempre correr por las tardes.
Yeah.
Un momentito. Wait a bit. Yeah. Alejandro siempre runs in the evenings. Okay. Alejandro is which person?
Alejandro is he. So third person.
Singular.
Third singular.
Now get third person singular of correr. A normal ER.
Correr is third person singular is E.
Yeah. Remove this AR part
Yeah.
and add that E.
So corre.
Corre. Alejandro siempre corre por las tardes. In the
Yeah.
evenings. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Muy bien. Then tocar means to play. Actually, tocar means to touch, but you actually don't play a flute. Okay, in the sense you play something. It's not play. You touch a flute or you touch a guitarra. Tocar la guitarra. That is also. So they say use the verb tocar. It's a normal AR verb. Whose turn is that? Pramod.
For me.
Yeah, Pratiksha. Pratiksha.
Yes.
Can you say this sentence? It's a question, so make it in a question tone.
Should I start from two?
Don't use two. I have given two just to indicate that you have to use the second person singular form. There is no way I can give you a hint that I want to say I want you to use second person singular. You can skip that two part and straightway come to the verb conjugation.
Okay. So it's second person singular.
Yeah.
So tocas la flauta.
Tocas la flauta. Tocas la
Tocas la
flauta.
flauta.
Tocas la flauta. You play flute. How would you answer?
No, tocas la flauta.
No, no toco la flauta. Always remember, put no before the particular verb form. Okay. First deny the action. First deny the action by saying no. Then it naturally a comma appears. No, no toco la flauta. Okay. Or
Toco or tocas.
no, if you are answering that, no toco la flauta. No toco la flauta. When I am asking, I can ask tocas la flauta. You will say no, no toco la flauta. Okay. Tocas changes to as changes to o, ais changes to amos. Okay.
Okay.
¿Está claro? ¿O no está claro? You can skip saying two. You can skip saying two. Okay. When you ask a question, you can skip because it is tocas cannot address any other subject. Tocas cannot address any other subject because if tocas you won't find anywhere in this verb table. Okay. It will only mean it is addressed to you or the person opposite to you. Okay. Want to ask it out?
No.
Okay. Next one. Prerana is
Yes,
there.
sir.
Yeah. Pepe is name of a person. Pepe is name of a person. Abrir to open. La puerta, door. Now abrir is IR verb. Abrir is IR verb. So Pepe is third person singular.
Yes. Pepe abre la puerta.
Perfecto. Pepe opens the door. Muy bien.
Yes.
I'll take down this.
How will you pronounce this word? Abria?
Abrir. Abrir.
No. Abrio. That Pepe.
Abro.
Abro. Correct.
Yeah.
IR.
Elena y Jorge. Elena y Jorge. Now, I think
is it
Sanika.
Thank you.
Sanika is not there.
Sanjana.
Sanjana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena y Jorge. Remember, G plus is pronounced as K. Elena y Jorge. Vivir to live.
Okay, sir. So it's Elena y Jorge viven cerca de la escuela.
Muy bien. Viven cerca de la escuela. Elena and Jorge, third person plural. So you have to use third person of vivir. So it will be vivo, vives, vive, vivimos, vivis, viven. Viven cerca de la escuela. Cerca de la escuela, near the school. Okay. Next one.
Seshtadri.
Yeah. Un momentito. Let me
Yep.
bring down that box. Okay. Okay, 18th one.
Oh, yes. Emos.
Okay, what I mean to ask is, we must clean the kitchen. We must clean the kitchen. Okay, after must, the verb will appear in its root form. Okay, so you have to conjugate only the must. You have to conjugate deber. That means must. You don't have to. You don't have to conjugate limpiar. You never conjugate verb which comes after must. Okay, so although I've given the blanks, those are not meant to be fulfilled. You just have to say limpiar as it is. Okay, but you have to conjugate deber.
So debemos limpiar la cocina.
Perfecto. Debemos limpiar la cocina. Don't conjugate limpiar. Okay, don't conjugate limpiar. Although I have left space for that, please don't fall into that trap. Okay. Okay. Next one.
Sir, I have a question for 17, 17 point. That instead of Elena, if it is yo, Jorge, then it would be like these are the plural, but priority for verb would be first form, correct?
Yeah, first person plural. It will be first person plural.
Okay.
Am I right? This is Elena. You want to say yo y Jorge. Yo is first person, Jorge is third person.
Okay.
So it will be plural. Two persons are taking part in the action, so it will be plurality of subjects taking part in the action. But plural of first person or plural of third person, it will be always plural of first person. Okay.
Okay, got
Takes
it.
precedence. Okay, so it will be vivimos cerca de la escuela. In
Vivimos.
case you want.
Yeah, got it.
Yo y Jorge vivimos cerca de la
Yeah,
escuela. In case you want.
yeah, clear. Thank you.
Next one. Señora Sonali Karmarkar. Los estudiantes. Mirar. You want me to drag down the box? Mirar.
So it will be Miran.
Miran, perfecto. You can take help from this.
So los estudiantes miran los programas de noticias.
A las 10. Programas de noticias, news programs. Noticias, news programs. Noticias means
Noticias a las 10.
A las 10, ¿qué significa a las 10? What is the meaning of that? A las 10? At 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one. Okay. 20th one. Diego. Diego is name of a person. No. Trabajar to work el viernes. El viernes on Friday. Okay. I think Senior Vikram is not there, so Senior Vilas. Vilas. Diego no trabajar AR work. Huh?
Diego no trabaja
el viernes. Okay. Muy bien. Next one, la fruteria, the fruit shop. Huh? Vender means to sell. Vender means to sell. The fruit shop sells apples, oranges, bananas, y ciruelas means plums. Okay. So back to Abhishek. La fruteria. Which is the subject? La fruteria is the subject. It sells. Okay. So in that sense, it is which person? Anything apart from I, we, and you is
third person.
Yeah, I'm saying la fruteria. La, had it been plural, it would have been las fruterias. Okay, but it's la signifies it's just singular. Okay, la fruteria, the fruit shop. or the fruit stall, not fruit stalls, plural. It's third person singular. Okay, la fruteria. Now use third person singular form of vender. Er verb. Here you have in the box er verb. Remove er part and add these endings.
Okay. La fruteria vendo manzanas.
Okay. La fruteria is which person? Third person.
Third person.
Okay, anything apart from I, we and use third person. Take a word for word match. आपको फ्रूट शॉप में इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन ले लो, उसका फ्रूट शॉप उसका सब्जेक्ट है. फ्रूट शॉप में आपको कभी कहीं I, we and you दिख रहा है क्या? नहीं दिख रहा है. It will be third person. ठीक है.
Third person.
अब ये पहला रो जो है, first row is that of first person. Second row is second person. Third row is third person.
Third person.
तो third person का तो रहेगा. तो इसमें जो पहला वाला जो है वो सिंगुलर का है और दूसरा वाला जो है वो प्लूरल का है. ला फ्रूटेरिया सिंगुलर है. ओके, तो ये ई वाला लेगा फॉर्म. नो, इट विल ओनली टेक वेंडे.
So la fruteria vende manzanas, naranjas, naranjas. Plátanos es ciruelas.
Plums. Okay. Okay, next one. Ajay. Yeah, creer. No, I don't believe in it. Yo means I. I don't believe in it. I is first person singular. And creer means to believe. So since subject is in first person singular, you have to use the first person singular of creer. First remove this er part and add the ending of the person. This is the ending of the first person singular.
Yo,
no lo creo. Or
No
you can
creo.
say, no lo creo. I don't believe in it. Okay. Claro, muy bien. Next one. I think Senior Ashok.
Yes.
Nosotras means we girls. Okay, exclusive female group. Nosotras. Okay. Beber means to drink. Sumo de naranja means orange juice. Por las mañanas, in the mornings. Okay, nosotras is first person plural. So you have to use first person plural of beber. Here I have given you the er verbs. Nosotras is first person plural. So you have to use the first person plural of
Imos. Bebe imos. Bebe imos.
Remove the er.
Yeah.
So what remains is beb. And add this ending. Bebemos.
Bebemos.
Yeah.
Nosotras bebemos. Nosotras bebemos zumo de naranja por las mañanas.
Okay, muy bien. Next one. Mi primo, my cousin, lives in Argentina. Okay. After Ashok, Jitendra is there. Mi primo, my cousin. So Jitendra.
Sí, sir.
Yeah. How will you do it? My cousin is which person?
Third person.
I am speaking about only one cousin. So it is singular. So third person singular. It will take third person singular form of belief. Okay?
So mi primo VIP.
Yeah.
Vive en Argentina.
Perfecto. Muy bien. Next one, Senora Manju. Miss Professores. My professors. Now it is plural. Okay. My professors. Okay. Leer means to read. Muchos periódicos. Many newspapers. Cada mañana. Cada means every morning. Okay. Cada means every and mañana means morning. My professors read many periodicals or rather many newspapers every morning. So Miss Professores is which person? First, second or third person?
It is a mixed group.
Okay, whatever it is, but
yeah, it's a Miss Professoros is
anything up my professors. Okay, if you're
yeah, it's like it can be a female or it can be a male.
Okay, that is not okay. That's true. But what I want to say is my professors, irrespective of the language, the person will remain same. Whether it's English if the person is in third person in English, it will remain third person in Spanish also. So the person won't change in English and Spanish. So for example, if you take my professors, anything apart from I, we, and me is third person.
Right.
So my professors is third person.
Yeah, so it is professores leemos muchos
plural, third person plural. Leer.
So leemos.
Leemos means we read.
Third person plural become.
Yeah, my professors. It is third person plural. Am I right? So you have to
okay,
use the third person.
leen. Yeah. Muchos periódicos cada mañana.
Cada mañana. Perfecto. Siguiente, señor Pinat, los fines de semana, on weekends. Fin de semana, end of, fin means end, semana means week. On weekends, la bailadora means the dancer, comer means to eat. The dancer eats only vegetables, eats. Okay, so how will you make it?
Sir,
Yeah.
comemos.
La bailadora, which is la bailadora is the dancer. La bailadora means the dancer eats only vegetables. Okay. La bailadora is the
Third
subject.
person.
Yeah, third person. Third person only singular. Had it
Yes.
been plural, it would have been las bailadoras. Okay. We are speaking of only one single dancer. La bailadora. Huh? Come. Los fines de semana la bailadora come solamente vegetales. Muy bien. Next one, Prajakta.
Yes, sir.
Mi madre y mi hermana. My
My
mother
mother.
and my sister. Who is
Yes.
that person?
My mother, third person singular.
No. But my mother is there and mi hermana is also there. So together they make a group. More than one person is involved. So it's
Yes,
plural.
sir. Yeah.
So it's third person.
Plural.
Plural. Okay. So accordingly, choose third person plural of the verb cocinar.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Remember?
Mi,
Huh?
yeah. Mi madre y mi hermana cocinan.
Cocinan.
Okay, AR, yeah. Cocinan un pastel grande. Un pastel grande para el cumpleaños de mi padre.
Perfecto, muy bien. My mother and my sister cook cake, a big cake for the birthday of my father. Okay. Como next one.
Sí.
Senior Pramod. Como
Sí.
how to download programs which teach you mathematics. Now, if you say, if you compare it with English, it will be how to download. Okay. Now, how to download that to download is a verb in root form. So in Spanish also, it will appear as it is. You don't have to conjugate. Okay. Like you say how to download. Okay. How to download. So to download is a verb in root form. So in Spanish also you choose the verb in its root form only. Okay. So don't conjugate. Descargar. Descargar means to download. Okay. Although I have left some blank space here, it is not meant to be used. Okay. Use it as it is. Descargar, don't conjugate it. Como descargar, programas que that. Now that teach mathematics. Now programs that teach mathematics. What is the subject? Programs.
Programs.
Programs is which person? First, second, or third? Third person. Okay.
Third, yeah.
Yeah, and plural. Many programs. There may be many programs. So it is third person plural. So accordingly, you have to choose third person plural of enseñar, to teach.
Yeah.
So o as a, amos, ais, an.
So third person plural will become remain third person plural, that is an, an.
Perfecto. So remove this ar and add that an.
Yes. So como descargar programas que enseñan las matemáticas.
Perfecto. ¿Cómo descargar programas
Matemáticas.
Que enseñan las matemáticas? Perfecto. Now, next one, señorita Pratiksha.
Yes.
Señorita Pratiksha, Rodrigo climbs up the staircase, but Maria uses the lift. Okay. Un momentito. Yeah.
So, is it third person singular?
Yeah, Rodrigo is name of a boy.
Rodrigo Subir Subi Sube.
Yeah, perfecto. Remove the IR part.
Rodrigo sube las escaleras, pero Maria
Usar. Maria uses. Maria is also third person singular. But now the verb has changed. Now it is no more IR verb. It is AR verb. So you have to use third person singular of AR verb. O as a.
usa el ascensor.
Yeah, perfecto. Muy bien. María usa el ascensor. Usa. Usa. Usamos. Usáis. Usan. Perfecto. Next one.
Yes, sir.
Yo y
Alejandro siempre asiste.
No, yo y Alejandro would mean which person? I and Alejandro. I is first person, Alejandro is third person. First and third person come together, it's a plural. So it's first person plural or third person plural. Obviously first person plural. So yo and Alejandro constitute first person plural. So accordingly first person plural of the verb will be there. If the subject is in first person plural, the verb will also be in the first person plural. So the verb is assistir, to attend.
Yes.
Remove the IR part.
Yo y Alejandro siempre asistimos a la conferencia, pero Conchita y su jefe no asistes a la conferencia nunca.
Conchita y su jefe. Conchita and her boss. Her boss is which person? First, second, or third person?
Second. No, third person.
Anything apart from I, we, and you is third person.
Yes.
Okay. Conchita and her boss. Conchita is already third person. Yes. Conchita is accompanied by her boss. So third person plus third person. So it is third person plural. Okay. Am I right? But
yes,
they don't attend the conference. They never attend the conference. Okay. So you have to choose third person plural of asistir.
So it will come yo y Alejandro siempre asistimos a la conferencia, pero Conchita.
Okay, un momento. Pero means it pronounces as pero. Double R means dog.
Yes.
And it means but. Okay, and it is single T. Otherwise, it means but. Okay, that sense. Okay, so use pero and but. Okay, pero means but and perro means dog. Okay, single.
So should I start?
Yeah. Yo y Alejandro.
Yo y Alejandro siempre asistimos a la conferencia, pero Conchita y su jefe no asisten a la conferencia nunca.
Perfecto, perfecto, muy bien. It was a long sentence. Yeah, good attempt. Must say. Aquí en India, la gente. Aquí en India, la gente. Señor Sheshadri.
Sir, Sanjana.
Sanjana, sorry. Aquí en India, la gente. La gente, you should take a clue from this la. La is only, it comes only for singular. La gente. So it's singular. Now la gente is third person singular. Okay?
Okay, sir. So,
un moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So, aquí en India, la gente sobrevivimos.
Sobre.
Sobrevivimos.
Sobrevive.
Sobrevivimos.
La gente. La gente is which person? The people. Anything apart from I, we, and is third person. So the people. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Aquí en India, la gente sobrevive, pero allí en los Estados Unidos la gente vive. Sorry.
Vive, perfecto. Here in India, the people survive, but there in United States, the people live. Okay. Los Estados Unidos, la gente vive. La gente, aquí en India, la gente sobrevive, pero allí en los Estados Unidos, la gente vive. Okay, muy bien. Next one, señor Sheshadri.
Yeah.
¿Por qué tú y Clara no enviar to send messages WhatsApp? Why don't you and Clara don't send WhatsApp messages? Tú y Clara, which is that person? Second person, tú means second person singular, and Clara means third person singular. When second person and third person singular together come, they form a plural. But second person plural or third person plural?
Third person plural.
No, it will be second person plural. Since second comes higher up in the hierarchy.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
So it will be second person plural. Tu Clara will be you all. Okay. Why don't you all or you two, you both, don't send WhatsApp messages?
Yeah.
Okay. So since the subject is in second person plural, the verb form will also be in the second person plural. So enviar, second person plural. O, as, a, amos, ais, an.
So it is enviáis.
Perfecto. ¿Por qué tú y Clara no enviáis mensajes WhatsApp? Why don't you two send WhatsApp messages? Okay, muy bien. Señora Sonali, la gente is again third person singular. Yeah.
Third person singular. Yeah. So it will be la gente describe.
Bien, describe.
Al ladrón y pronto la policía.
This is AR verb. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. La policía is also third person singular.
So okay. It will be la policía identifica.
Okay, identifica. Perfect.
Identifica al ladrón.
Pronto means soon. The people describe the thief and soon the police identify the thief. Identifica. Okay. La policía and la gente, although they appear to be plural, they are, frankly speaking, third person singular, not plural. Okay. Next one, Señor Vilas, los estudiantes must perform exercises regularly.
Yeah, students.
Yeah,
it's a plural.
Yeah.
Third person plural. So yeah. Deber means debes.
Third person plural of deber. O-S-A, emos, eis, n.
Deben.
Yeah, los estudiantes deben.
Hasar doesn't change. It becomes hasar los.
Perfecto. Ejercicios regularmente. After deber, you don't conjugate the verb which comes next. Usually, it never happens that you conjugate two verbs simultaneously in one sentence. When when a verb form changes, the sentence also changes. Try to understand this. When you conjugate one verb, usually in one sentence you conjugate only one verb. The next verb which comes after
Hello. Hello, Prasad, we lost you. Prasad Soni, we lost Prasad Joshi.
Okay, Prasad called me, he lost contact. So we will continue with this, finish this off, and I would clarify a couple of things for you guys. Let me open that particular file which was on currently. Okay, I have a question for all of you. Why is there so much confusion about first person, second person, third person? Okay, wherever I am involved, it's always first person. If I'm talking about me and somebody else, it is always that I am there in that. So whether it is me and somebody or me alone, it is always first person. When it is you and somebody else, I'm talking to the other person and he is involved or she is involved. So if that person is involved in the verb, that is always second person. But if you and I are together, then it becomes we, and then it becomes first person again. So first person has precedence over second, and that has precedence over third. And whatever doesn't have I, we, you, it's always third person. So my dog, my cat, my horse, my car, my bike, my friend, everyone is third person. So why should there be any confusion when people still feel that the answer is something else when Prasad asks, what is this first person, second person, third person? Is there any part which is not clear? Whether in Spanish, English, Marathi, Hindi, doesn't matter. In all languages, this logic is same. So just think that in your mother tongue, you don't make these mistakes. So don't worry about that in English or Spanish or any other language. Just think along those same lines in which you think and you use the verb. When you use to talk, say in Marathi or Hindi, that मैं इस कप से पी रहा हूं, so this cup मेरा कप है, but still it's a third person, correct? तो आपण म्हणताना तो माझ्या कपात मी पितोय, तो कप हा तिसराच झाला ना, पण मी पितोय, त्यामुळे it becomes first person in this particular case because the subject is me. So you have to always think of who is the subject, and if the subject involves first person, that is I or me or we, it is always first person. But everything else, that is my everything, when I talk about my something, that is a different thing. That's not me. Aniruddha Joshi has entered. Who is Aniruddha Joshi? Okay, Prasad's son's name is Aniruddha. Have you joined in, Prasad, again? Okay. No, he has not. Prasad, are you back? Saw him a couple of times, but no, he's not. Does anyone remember what was the number of the question which was being carried on?
34 was over 35 to start.
Okay. So you did los estudiantes hacer los ejercicios regularmente. That was done already.
I did it is deben.
Okay, okay. So now
And
it's
Aser doesn't change.
yeah, and then we have next sentence, which is okay. I'll show this. No, this is not being displayed. Okay, we are here. Muchas veces un médico no something a los pacientes cuidadosamente y por eso los pacientes las mucho. Many times the doctor doesn't examine the patients carefully, and that's why the patients suffer. So here, what is a doctor? First person, second person, or third person?
Doctor is a third person.
Third person, correct. And in the second part, the patients suffer. So what are patients?
Patients are, there are so many patients, correct? Plural.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But which person? First, what is important is which person?
Third person.
Third person, plural. Okay.
Plural.
So now, who was the next person who would go on to conjugate this? Whose turn was it, by the way? Guys, whose turn was it?
After Vilas.
Vilas. Okay. So, okay. Since there are only a couple of minutes left, we'll make it open. Anybody can answer. What will be the first verb here? Muchas veces.
Yeah.
The verb is examinar. So it's AR verb.
And
we have decided it is going to be third person, and since medico, you can see un here, that is singular. So third person singular of AR verb.
A.
So it will be a.
Examina.
So it will be examina. A los pacientes cuidadosamente y por eso los pacientes. Now it's patients.
Yeah.
So it's plural.
Yeah.
It's third person. What will be the verb?
In.
Because it is IR verb. Okay, this is IR verb.
Yeah.
And
IR word.
Sufren.
Sufren. Ian. Sufren.
Okay, and there is one more left. This is the last one. Los políticos no cumplir, whatever the form, nunca las promesas que prometer a la gente. What is the meaning of this, first of all, in English?
The politicians never keep the promises that they make to the people.
Okay, so what are the politicians and the people here? Are they first person, second person, or third person?
Third person.
Both third person. Is there
Third
any
plural.
singular plural here?
Yeah, third person.
Yes,
Plural.
Okay. So third person plural here.
Third person singular.
in
Cumplen.
complain.
So this cumplir verb. So it will be
Complain.
okay. The politicians never keep the promises that they
Yeah.
make to the people. Here, they is the word which is missing, that they make to the people. Okay.
Prometen.
So that they promise. So whatever is they. Okay.
Yeah.
This part is missing here. I'm just typing for you for simplicity.
Yeah, the promoter verb changes to promoten.
Correct?
Promoten.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you're right. A la gente. Okay. So is there anyone who's still not clear about first person, second person, third person?